Live in the KSAT studios, David Sears, RJ Marcus, and doing our sports postmortem, Spurs postmortem.
Yeah,
Man.
You know what's weird about today?
What is weird?
Got nothing to do.
I know. What are we going to do with ourselves now that Spurs is over?
Relegated to 24/7 of news.
There you go. Same here.
Thanks, Spurs.
Yeah.
Way to go.
No more Spurs, no more Fiesta, and it all came in one full.
Yeah. Saturday night, man, woke up Sunday morning, and everything was done. It's like, Fiesta's over, Spurs season's over. It's like, what do I do now? It's like it's like when you run out of coffee or something. I don't know. I don't drink coffee, but you know how that is. Like when stuff just ends, and you're like, I was just getting into it, and it's over. And
how much? Speaking of being over, how much do you want to kind of get into on Saturday night? Are you ready to put this to bed, or
it's over?
Are you ready to kind of?
They didn't foul on intentionally. Mm-hmm. The game ended, and here we are.
Yes.
So I don't. Does it matter? Does it really matter what happened Saturday?
Watching. Here's what kind of struck me a little bit is that watching a little bit of Denver Portland last night, and Nikola Jokic, who we all saw, I mean, incredible play. I mean, just unbelievable guy and player. But he scores like 37.
Yeah.
Portland has no inside.
Murray had
defenders.
A big night. No.
Murray has it. And I'm thinking to myself, because I think we talked about these yesterday, and you said that you think Denver's going to take them in 6, right?
Yeah. Or less.
Or less. I was kind of more opposed. I was saying, no, I think Portland will be okay. But I didn't realize Portland has no inside presence. So if the Spurs win that game 7, I mean, we're talking about LaMarcus Aldridge should theoretically have a field day
40
with Portland's inside players, but we are not there.
So how many pick and rolls did Denver run last night? How many times did Jokic find himself with really no resistance to get a shot off?
Yeah.
A lot. So that's
there was a lot. There was a lot.
So, and then C.J. McCollum's complaining about the referee. They're complaining about the referees, and Denver's making shots.
Yeah.
So that's a bad combination if you're Portland.
Yeah. So but
kind of like the Rockets complaining about the referees.
Yeah,
and
that's a whole different story, man.
Warriors
what a mess. Yeah, what a mess that series looks like it's going to be. All these guys complaining about every single call, but. So obviously Sunday disappointing. I mean Saturday night very disappointing. Spurs did fight back, got it within 2. The missed foul, LaMarcus not hearing. So we move on. Pop.
That's my new rule change for the summer. Mm-hmm. That's my summer rule change.
What
you get 2 complaints at the referee. The next complaint, the next time you go over to the referee and whine about a foul call, or even look at the referee and whine about a foul call, or you cry, you're technical.
Yeah.
Or just we'll call it a technical, but those aren't like techs. Those are just the whining techs. So they don't add up as if you get 2 of those, you get tossed. Yeah. I don't want to see a star player get tossed because he's whining. But I would like to see these guys quit whining
some sort of like a quick reprimand.
And I realize the referees blow a lot of calls. I'm with you. Yeah. I mean, they blew a lot against the Spurs, but I get so tired of watching these players just whine. It's like, dude, it's not going to change the call. Yeah. He's not going to change it. And I get the whining part. It's like you got to influence the referee. So next time, maybe you'll get that call.
Yeah.
That's why the coach is over there on the sideline is to take care of his players. That's what he's for. I get tired of the whining.
Well, and in this one series, I mean, Golden State, Houston, you have some of the all-time whiners. I mean, Chris Paul, James Harden, Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, Draymond Green. I mean, these guys complain about every single call. And I know there's some people maybe out there that were like, well, hey, Tim Duncan apparently never committed a foul in his life with the way that sometimes he reacted. But I don't remember it ever being this bad.
Get him a glass of some cheese and we'll have
I think that's a good idea on your part to do like a quick sort of reprimand. Next one would be a tech, right?
It's a foul. It's a whining tech.
Yeah.
It's not a 2 and you're out of the game kind of tech. It's just the other team gets a free throw.
Yeah.
And you'll cut that stuff out pretty quick, especially when you lose a game by 1 because one of your all-stars was over there crying and whining about foul calls.
Yeah.
But you give them a couple of I'm giving them a couple of chances. I'm giving them 2 times. You can go over to the referee and whine twice. After that, you're done. Mm-hmm. He gets it. The referee's figured it out by now. Right. You're not happy with the way he's calling the game. Yeah. He doesn't need to hear from you 5 or 6, 7 more times, and that's
right.
Okay, I'm off that soapbox.
So we're good.
So we're good.
So as we move on to the offseason, Coach Pop apparently in contract negotiations with three teams right now. The Portofino Flyers, the Positano Pirates, and the San Antonio Spurs.
Who do you think's got the inside track on that deal?
I don't know. Those two villages, the Italian countryside, man. Pop enjoying a nice glass of wine out by the Mediterranean Sea. I mean, man, that's a tough. No, I think the Spurs are going to be okay on that end. All right, David, any sort of takeaways that you had from anything Pop had to say yesterday during his end of season presser?
He wants to keep the core group together again.
That was the big one.
And get Rudy Gay re-signed.
Yeah.
I think that was the big takeaway, and the fact that he may have to turn down Italy for it. But I think that's the big takeaway was the fact that he wants.
Yeah.
And when you look at this, I mean, he had guys out of position.
Oh yeah.
Brent Forbes is not a point guard.
Yeah, and you said
here, Brent, you're now the point guard. This is the NBA, by the way.
Yeah, and he said scared the hell out of him. That's what he said. We put Brent at point guard and it scared the hell out of him. We saw that early on. DeMar DeRozan basically became the de facto point guard until Derek White kind of got his feet under him. But I think you bring up a good point. The Rudy Gay thing, I think Pop made a couple of comments yesterday saying that Rudy makes everyone laugh. And I think you need a guy like that who's just kind of like and we've seen Rudy in the locker room. He's a likable guy. He's kind of makes these jokes that sometimes he sort of laughs at himself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you can tell that he's got a sense of humor. We could talk about Bruce here in a little bit. Rudy has a sense of humor, obviously very close to DeMar DeRozan. So, Rudy's kind of a guy that I think they would want to bring back. Didn't look like that early on in the Denver series, but he did play well in games 6 and 7. Really kind of kept him in the game, especially in Game 7.
Their defense has got to improve, which is hard to do the way this league is now shaped up.
Yeah.
And here's the other very interesting thing that Pop said yesterday. He was asked about DeMar DeRozan working on a three-point shot, and he said he's got to. Basically said DeMar DeRozan's got to be able to hit threes. And I don't know. We saw DeMar take some threes this year. He didn't really take that many. But I don't think he has the confidence in making them, and that's why he doesn't take them. Because the ones he took weren't exactly. I don't know. Did he? I don't even remember him making one. I remember he took some bad ones, but he didn't ever take them really. Yeah. And I think that's one of the things that Chip England gets a hold of him, and he's willing to come into the gym and work and work and work. Just think what kind of a threat he will be if he can hit a three.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Because the one thing about DeMar is that that he can. Take pretty much any guard. His size to the basket.
Guards, small forwards too.
He's a strong guard. We saw that he can get to the basket. But if he's able to, add that 3-point threat at least into his arsenal, and we know he's been in the league now for 9-10 years. He's going to be 30 years old.
Doesn't matter.
If anyone were to be able to sort of unlock it, and maybe even that mental block that DeMar has, because I think it's also a mental thing.
Oh yeah.
More, as much as just the fact that he doesn't like to take them. I think if there's anyone to do that, I think Chip England is the guy to do it for the Spurs.
Perfect example. Go back to Tony Parker. How long did it take Tony Parker? How many years did Tony Parker play till he was very, very efficient?
Yeah.
And you went from he's going to miss it to he's going to make it when he came off that curl and that string from the elbow.
Right.
When he was young. Yeah. He wasn't making them all.
Right.
When he got to be older and worked on it later on in his career, you counted it. Mm-hmm. If he missed it, you went, he missed it.
Yeah.
And he worked on his three-point shot. He wasn't that great of a three-point shooter when he first came into the league, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
But as the years went by, especially in the later years, he started hitting threes. You were like, hit that three.
That's a great point.
So DeMar can do it.
Threes and coming around screens.
He was a whole lot better shooter. He had the teardrop and all that going for him his whole career.
Right.
But he got to be a better shooter later on in his career, and I'm going to give Chip England a lot of that credit. I think when all DeMar has to do is work on the three.
Yeah.
That's it. He doesn't need a mid-range shot. He's got that. He doesn't need to know how to. But can you imagine if he's out at the three-point line and the defender's going, what is he going to do? Pull up, hit a three, and the next time drive by the guy?
If they are able to unlock that part of his game, then I think, we'll see what happens, because the big part of this, too, is that DeJounte Murray is going to come back into the starting lineup.
Yep.
Ideally, I guess Bryn Forbes maybe goes to the bench, so then you do lose some 3-point threat on the perimeter, since Bryn is kind of a 3-point guy.
But you gain that coming off the bench too.
You do get it coming off the bench, yeah. So this is going to be interesting.
I mean, everything is gauged on what you do in the playoffs. In the playoffs, they were a weak bench team. I mean, if it wasn't for Rudy Gay getting the 19 in one game and the 20 was it 21 or 22 in that last game, if it wasn't for him, their bench was a no-show the entire series.
Yeah,
where did they go?
Struggled.
Davis Bertans struggled. Marco Bellinelli struggled. Patty Mills struggled.
Yep.
They all struggled. So if Bryn, at least you got another option coming off the bench.
Right.
And I mean, I know it's going to be tough for him to probably have to go back to the bench.
And Bryn played well. I mean, considering, I mean, Bryn really kind of held it together under all that pressure.
Yeah.
I mean, it was the guy that, it was weird to see that Derek White kind of ascended to this guy at the beginning of the series, and then Bryn Forbes kind of held it together towards the end of the series. So, I think
about that backcourt,
like
though.
you said, though,
Keeping the core together.
There's going to be a lot of guards because
DeJounte Murray, Bryn Forbes, and Lonnie Walker the fourth. He spent a year in the G League now, so where's he going to be when he comes back?
And that's something that Pop said yesterday, and I'm glad Pop brought up Lonnie Walker. He wasn't asked about him. He said Lonnie needs to get minutes next season. Lonnie, and he's going to have to figure out a way to get all those guys minutes. He was saying, I'd rather have DeJounte here than not have him and have the minutes issue that we're going to have. But I'm glad he brought up Lonnie as well, because Lonnie's athleticism alone, I think, is enough to get him minutes. Now, we'll see what Lonnie does with that. But at the same time, I'm excited to see what these guys have. This backcourt is going to be youthful,
you got 5
athletic.
guys in the backcourt.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
So, but what that tells me is you've got a plethora of guys in the backcourt. Do you want to keep them all and worry about all those minutes?
Yeah.
Or is there somebody else out there that you're willing to make a trade for? I mean, I think the Spurs may be in. They have no money. They have no cap money really this year, but they may be in one of the best positions as far as how much depth they have and as far as tradability.
And the 2 draft picks in the
Because
first
they have
round.
those 2 draft picks, and you can combine those 2 draft picks with one of these guards. I mean, they have a lot of options.
I think
when it comes to getting better as far as personnel.
We have talked about this, though. I think one thing they may go after with the mid-level exception is what they call it. It's like a contract slot, is a kind of a wing guy. A Rudy Gay, kind of a defensive guy, a forward defensive stretch guy. So, guys, I see your comments coming in on Facebook Live. Thank you very much for sending those in. A lot of people, I saw some person say Lonnie Walker is next. Some people here, a lot of people talking about LaMarcus Aldridge. What are your thoughts on LaMarcus, David?
He had a good season.
Yeah.
LaMarcus, in my opinion, needs to work on some defense. A little bit. I mean, Jakob Poeltl came a long way from. I mean, he improved the defense when he got to start. Eventually, what was it, 25 games into the season, or with remaining in the season, something like that, around 26 games in the regular season. Their defense improved a lot, but that whole defense was exposed with Jokic. Of course, I mean a guy like that is going to expose a lot of defenses.
I thought Jakob held his own pretty well against.
But I think they need a big defensive guy.
Yeah, someone just said here we need help in the paint.
Yes.
So I think that definitely be something to
to look at. And I don't know what this kid that they signed at the end of the season. I don't know what he can do. It'll be interesting to see what.
Monte Eunice.
Dantas Monte.
I think that was just like an insurance.
Was that what that was?
I think he's a free agent this.
Okay,
this
well
summer,
then he probably won't be around next year.
Yeah, pretty much.
But I think with these 2 draft picks, they've got a lot of options, and I think as deep as they are, they've got a lot of options. So this may be, like I said, this may be one of the best as far as being able to pick up a guy or 2 that they need outside of free agents. It'll be a trade, obviously, but I think
someone says here, Kawhi is a free agent. Why don't we go after the best of them?
Been down that road. He had like 50 the other night.
He had 45 in Game 1. That was right before Spurs. I've actually thought this was a very interesting thing. If the Raptors get to the finals will be on KSAT 12. Let's say it's Raptors-Rockets. Who would you even cheer for if you're in San Antonio?
I know. Game of Thrones. The Dragons. That's where I'm going. Can I watch that?
Yeah.
Can I handle that?
Yeah.
I'll watch it, but I'm like,
I would watch
whoa.
it just because of the sheer theater of it. But man, either
I don't
Kawhi
know.
winning a title in his
Or
first season,
James
or
Harden
James
winning
Harden and the Rockets. But hey, the Rockets are down 0-1 in their series against another really not well-liked team.
That's tough.
I don't know. I just kind of thought about it in my head. I was
So
like,
you know what we
what
can
happens
hope? We
here?
can hope that neither the Rockets. But then you got to deal with the Golden State Warriors again. Probably. Oh,
Yeah,
you know
that's
what?
true.
Let's just go for, since the Spurs lost to the Nuggets, let's hope it's the Nuggets and the Bucks. Let's do that. How
Oh, the
about
Bucks.
that?
Well, the
Or
Bucks.
the Nuggets and the Celtics or
Yeah.
something. How about that?
Yeah, that'd be kind of interesting.
Two completely different
Yeah,
teams.
that'd be an interesting.
So
final.
then we don't have to worry about whether it's Kawhi or
or the Rockets.
Or the
yeah.
Rockets.
So a lot of people chiming in about Lonnie Walker, saying Lonnie Walker will show up, prove his value next year.
He's got to get a hold of this offense, and he's got to get a hold of. Obviously, he's got to learn the offense and learn the defense. But just watching him, the few minutes that he did play,
Yeah.
kid's got some athletic skills.
Okay, this is funny because so now this Kawhi thing's taken off. We
Uh-oh.
appreciate you guys commenting on Facebook
Yeah,
Live.
what'd they say?
Someone said they traded Sean Elliott for a year and got him back. I figured that one might, get a chuckle. out of you.
Where do we go from there?
Yeah,
Let's see.
I think. Look, to me, Sean was a
little
kind of a
different,
beloved
yeah.
guy here, whereas Kawhi just.
People loved
Yeah.
Sean Elliott.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, and Sean wasn't like faking an injury trying to get out of
Yeah,
town.
yeah.
And telling everybody he wants to go to
Yeah.
L.A.
That's
So
interesting. Yeah,
Sean was
Elliott,
like, I don't like Detroit. I want to
half
go back to
season
San
in
Antonio.
Detroit. Yeah.
I have not heard Kawhi Leonard come out and say, you know what, I really would like to go back to San Antonio
Yeah,
next year.
no, I haven't heard him say he wants to stay in Toronto, but then again, who has heard him say anything ever? So
He blew it, man. He's done.
yes.
That was funny, though.
yeah, that was funny. I thought you, I definitely thought you would like that. That's a throwback there. All right, some people's here talking about Bruce Bowen. David, you got to talk
Got
to Bruce.
to talk to
yesterday.
Bruce Bowen yesterday.
Yeah.
He's now the head coach of the Cornerstone High School boys basketball team. So
Mm-hmm.
congratulations. I didn't realize that he has spent a lot of time here in San Antonio coaching like a public league kind of thing,
Oh,
not
okay.
AAU,
Yeah.
but it's a
Yeah.
different kind of league.
Yeah.
It's kind of a select league kind of
Yeah.
thing, but not quite that intense or that high up. But he's been coaching like seventh and sixth and seventh
Interesting.
graders.
Yeah.
That age
Yeah.
and absolutely loves it.
Yeah.
And he actually was coaching against the son of the athletic director over there at Cornerstone,
Oh,
and they asked
okay.
him. That's how it kind of got started. We're gonna have
okay.
all the interview for you coming
Yeah.
up on instant replay
Yeah.
on Sunday night. So
Yeah.
join us. But guy's excited about coaching. these
That's
kids.
great, yeah.
He's excited. He knows there were some bridges burned between Northeast Independent School District,
Mm-hmm.
Cornerstone. He's got to mend those bridges, and he knows that. He knew it when he took the job. He talks a little bit about that. He talks about the Spurs, where they are right now, what he, I mean, he's an
Interesting.
analyst, and he was a Spur, and his jersey's hanging from the rafters, so I figured he probably knew what he was talking about.
Yeah.
And he talks about where they are right now, and he mentioned the fact that the head guy's not playing where guys should be playing because
Oh,
they had to.
yeah.
Brent Ford's not playing in
Right.
his position
Right.
and stuff like that. He talks a little bit about that, and he talks about Pop. He says Pop's coming back. You know, he said there's no question Pop's coming back, and he made a pretty interesting observation that a lot of guys, especially college coaches, he was just kind of being generic about it, but college coaches, he said, the game has passed up a lot of people. This game is not the same game it was 10, 15, 20 years ago.
Yeah.
He said, but it has not passed up Pop.
Yeah.
Pop has learned to adjust and go with what's just like right now. He needs DeMar DeRozan to shoot the three because that's where the game is.
Yeah.
So that's what he said yesterday. I need DeMar to work on that 3-pointer because that's what everybody's doing is hitting threes. So Pop's learned to adjust, but Bruce made that observation the other night. So,
Yeah,
but
really cool. So
really good interview.
That interview will be on Instant Replay
Instant
this
Replay
Sunday.
this
Yes,
Sunday.
Bruce
Yeah,
Bowen,
so-
congrats. He's the new head basketball coach at Cornerstone Christian.
So what did you
Academy.
think about that move? Did you like that, him taking over?
I think it's a good move.
Program.
Yeah, obviously. I mean, look, Bruce. He's a beloved Spur. A lot of beloved Spurs, and I just like the fact that he's in the community. And I've heard of other guys doing this too. I think Antonio Daniels lived here for a little bit,
Right.
and he was
Johnny
also
Moore was coaching some
That's
elementary-
right.
some,
Yeah.
middle
So
school kids,
I've
so-
heard guys like this that are going out into the community where you don't kind of realize that they're here.
Yeah.
But they're definitely here, and they're kind of coaching these kids up. So I think it's an interesting move. Like you said, mending mending the fences and, kind of rebuilding bridges with some of the Northeast ISD, because there was, of course, a lot of reports last year about, some friction between the district and Cornerstone. Obviously, hey, I don't blame Cornerstone for trying to, bolster their athletics program. I think if they can do it, then go for it. You know what I mean? And getting Bruce is definitely a guy that I think will immediately kind of put them on the map when it comes to that.
I think the key factor in all that is Bruce knows it. It's not like he's walking into a situation and it's going to be all of a sudden hit him in the face and go, oh, I didn't know it.
Yeah.
I mean, he's fully aware of what's going on, and he's already tried to sit down with some folks from both sides. So we'll have to see how that works out. But I know one thing: he spends a lot of time with kids, and he's excited about kids, and he's excited about teaching them fundamentals.
Yes.
He was talking about how these kids today just, and they got coaches that are just. He said it's just. But wait to see the interview.
Well, it's AAU ball. That's what kids are used to.
Basically,
now,
but it's like,
and really a lot of it is because of what we see with like Steph Curry. The pull-up
they
three
can't.
and,
They can't. He said they don't know fundamental basketball.
Pull up threes and
so, it's kind of interesting. But he was great. It was fun to visit with him.
Cool.
So we'll have that for you.
Awesome. Very nice. So David, I know you have to leave here in a little bit. So again,
thing.
Yes, that thing too. People saying bring back Manu. That's not going to happen.
Yeah, we would love.
Manu is, man, that guy's living the dream right now.
He's traveling, enjoying his kids, and he drops in on the Spurs practice facility every now and then and says, "Hi, how y'all doing? Good to see you. I'm out." Going to the beach somewhere.
Someone's saying I think Patty Mills' days are over. This is
know what? Watch that very close, because you may be. I mean, that's what we were talking about, how that backcourt is loaded, and he may be the odd man out.
Yeah, I think if anything, there's going to be a move. If the Spurs make a move, it would be in that logjam that they have with the guards right now. So, of course, guys, we appreciate you being with us here on Facebook Live. A lot of people still commenting about LaMarcus Aldridge. Some people saying that he has some value, but, I think...
He's probably got more value to the Spurs than he does anywhere else.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a great way to put it. Yeah, I don't even know if Portland would really want him back.
I think he's probably got more value here than anybody else.
But we'll see. Okay, so it'll be an interesting summer. Obviously not as busy as last summer because we had the Kawhi thing looming. Tony, Manu retired.
Hey, what are we going to do? We got no Kawhi all summer. This is going to be like a boring summer.
What
do we have to look forward to? Yeah. The finals and who the Spurs are going to draft with their 2 picks or what they're going to. The most exciting thing may be a trade or something on draft day. They get rid of both those picks and get one or something.
Unless Portofino sneaks in with a offer that Pop cannot refuse. Yeah, a Godfather.
Supply of wine for the rest of your life.
There you go. Yeah, Portofino or Positano. All right, guys. Any final thoughts?
Hey, thanks for being with us all season. Mm-hmm. We will periodically come back throughout the summer and update you when things happen. We'll get back on Facebook, so don't forget about us. And thanks for joining us all season pre-game. And we'll look forward to next year, because I think next year is going to be better. I know the West is going to be better. Denver's going to be right back in the mix with that team. Yeah. And I know, but the Spurs are going to be better too, because these guys got a lot of experience. They learned a lot this year. I mean, you're talking. This is no longer the oldest team in the NBA.
Oh no, absolutely
some young
not.
Guys. So
DeJounte, love the windmill dunks, but take it easy this summer. We need you. We need you, man. DeJounte, just get some rest. Make sure that knee is ready to go next season, because like you said, I think DeJounte is almost like a free agent acquisition in himself. So the Spurs believe in him. I think fans believe in him. So we'll see what happens. Should be an interesting summer. Okay.
And as always, go Spurs, go.
Bye, y'all.